spring break, you mentioned two possible changes. Any changes after what you reviewed?
Yeah, there was a couple out there today. Nothing really significant. That were out there. Michael Dunn moved up at the right offensive tackle, but I think other than that, pretty much everything else stayed the same. There might be some guys that are shuffling around a little bit in terms of the oars that before, but that was really probably the only one of, the biggest one.
And how about the health update between Mulberry and Cheeseburg?
Evan just, had a, I don't know. He went home over spring break and was doing okay before he left, and then came back and just wasn't the same, when he came back. So we'll see where he is, and then Cheese. Hopefully we'll get Cheese before the end of the spring. But those hamstrings, you just don't, you just never know.
Is Mulberry just a hip flexor?
I think it's something there with the hip, and hopefully that's all it is. But he came back and then tightened up yesterday after lifting. So. Tried to give it a go today and just, didn't fare too well out there. So we'll see where he's at after tonight. But hopefully it's maybe just a day, and he'll be back out there on Thursday, and we'll see where he goes from there.
Just lastly, Bowers and Petty on the bike, are they just doing with this?
Just, you guys have been out here. You've seen it, just some guys that, that just didn't take care of some business. And, when they don't, then, that's what they have to do. So, it's just, they'll learn from it and you move forward. But again, one of the things with, this program, it's all about, accountability. These young men have responsibilities that they have to adhere to and uphold in terms of, going to class and doing the things that they're supposed to, being on time. And, when they don't do that, then they're held accountable. And, sometimes it takes a little bit longer for some of them to understand that.
Matt Robinson's moved to linebacker. I know he's not fully healthy, but how do you feel like that is starting to progress in some ways?
I think it's good. Talking to Lyndon, he's great in the meeting room. He understands it. He gets the position. We're trying to get him as many reps as we can. Today on third down, he was out there. So again, Matt's going to be fine with it. I think he feels like he could probably go right now and go full go, but no, we're pleased with what we've seen so far this spring and the amount of work we're able to get him. But like I said, he's sharp. He picks everything up. He's helping the other guys in that room. So it's good, and it's a good move.
Is it a situation where there's maybe like an ideal weight for him, like 5 to 10 pounds more than what he's at now? And do you think that's?
He's probably, what is he now? Maybe about 2. I can see him playing at like 235. And again, just we'll see how he moves. But I think, anywhere from probably, 225 to 240, in that range.
And he's already in that.
And he's in that range. So it's just a matter of finding the optimal weight, for him where he can move the best and, keep the flexibility and everything else.
You have Darius in there sort of as the lone returning starter on D-line. What other guys do you see sort of stepping up and competing with these other two?
Well, you really, with some of those guys, you really hate to say too much, but I think I've been pleased with Quentin Jefferson. I think Quentin is getting better. He's still got a long way to go, but you're seeing some maturity, and you're seeing the growth there that we thought, and the development that we thought we could get out of him. Justin Anderson has been steady, pushing now for more playing time. And then Keith is going to be a guy that's in the mix, but he's got to make sure he's doing the right things to keep himself in the mix. So I think, and Roman's getting better. Roman's just young, and he just needs more rep. We flipped him from the right to the left. And we think that might have helped him so he can be in a right-handed stance. But he's going to give you everything. Like I said, he's going to be fine. He just needs reps, that's all.
And then with Joe and AJ gone, how is Darius sort of taking that elder statesman role on the defensive line?
Well, he's a guy that that's really kind of the the veteran of the room. And so, we're expecting him to be the leader. And he's done a good job. He's helped, he's helped with some of the maturity things of getting some of those guys, in tune. and he's kind of like the big brother figure. And so, we appreciate that. And then, at the same time, then what we want him to do is to elevate his level of play, because we think he has that in him to be able to do that.
How's the offensive line developed this year, specifically Nick Kleinhaus and stuff?
They're starting to come together. The biggest thing with Nick is just, he's got to make sure that he finishes everything that he's supposed to finish. And his first 2 steps are good, but then it's after that he gets himself in trouble because he just doesn't finish things well enough yet. And that's the biggest thing. The biggest thing with the offensive line right now is we got to get them to improve their technique. And there were some things today that I saw that were better in pass pro, which was encouraging. And again, we're just going to continue the kind of practice that you guys saw today. That's what we're doing on Thursday. That's what we're going to do next Tuesday, next Thursday, next Tuesday. And just, the one thing I've always learned in the coaching profession is repetition, is the mother of learning. So, we're just going to keep repping it and do the things that we can do well and come out of spring with some things that we can hang our hat on. And one of the things that we got to do is we got to get our offensive line to use better fundamentals and better technique. But, I've started to see, I thought I saw a little bit of improvement today from, where they were after the first 6.
Have you seen anything else with your quarterbacks? I know earlier in the spring you said that Ricardo needed to work more on technique, but can you just update us on where you're getting that?
Ricardo and I talked, yesterday, and he knows the things that he's got to work on, and again, the biggest thing I just want him to do is just to continue to, as a quarterback position, be a leader, be a guy that's going to do the little things right, concentrate on the fundamentals and the techniques of the position. And again, we all have to remember, he hasn't played football really in 3 years in a competitive, really situation. And so that's something that we have to, one of the things we probably maybe put a little bit too much on him with so much install, early on. And so now we've had a chance to really look at the 6 practices, and now we've got a better feel for, who we are, what we can be about, and we're really going to rep those things and really get good at them. And when he's in there, we're gonna do the things that his skill sets allow us. But the thing that I like about him is that he cares. He wants to be good. He wants to be coached. He wants to do things, the right way. And you know what? You can work with somebody when they're willing to, be like that.
As far as run throw, have you seen any more consistency?
Well, we really haven't really done much punting, since a couple weeks ago. So,
What does he need to do most?
Just be consistent. It's just. But you know what? The thing about it is, and it's just, he's got to be consistent, but also it all starts with the snapper first. The snapper's got to put the ball where it's in his framework. It's, there, so he doesn't have to move around. And if we get everybody doing that and the protection takes care of itself, then he'll be even much better.
I would imagine that with Craddock's whirlwind year, that his being in the program and whatnot might have an even greater impact than just simply a typical freshman. And how have you kind of seen him take things in a little bit heading into his first spring and heading into his second?
Well, the one thing is we've taken away punting duties from him, where he can just solely concentrate on place kicking, and so that's something that I think is going to help him. Brad is one of those guys that's a very competitive, very conscientious, wants to do well, will go and do things on his own to get better. And the big thing with him is getting him to understand that all he needs to do is to follow his line and kick the ball easy. His biggest issues come when he tries to overkick things, and to me, it's not leg strength with Brad, it's the mental part, and that's the thing that we just got to continue to work with him on.